How happy are you to be in and sorted and joining up with the team so early for this Europa League qualifier?
I'm really excited. When it became clear of what we were doing, and both clubs were happy, it just had to be done as soon as it possibly could. And I thank Celtic and the medical staff for making that happen and getting me out here and getting me a part of this team. And I'm looking forward to hopefully helping us to put one step forward.
A lot has been made of the goalkeeping situation at Celtic for a while, even into last season. Are you ready to go straight in? Have you been given assurances that you're here as number one keeper?
I don't think anyone's ever going to give you assurances. That's when you're at a team like Celtic, I don't think anyone can afford to rest on those. We all need to be pushing for the jersey. We all need to be pushing in the same direction, whether we're on or off the field. And that's no different for me. I'm here to obviously try my best to be that guy. And I'll leave no stone unturned to do that. But ultimately, it's down to the manager and down to us playing well as a team.
You say that you didn't have a decision to make, but was there interest from other clubs? Was there interest from elsewhere?
Football's, it can be quite a small world. When it became apparent that I wasn't, I wasn't really wanted at Tottenham anymore, there were a few conversations, but you have to sift through the guys that are serious. And the more we looked at it, the more we realised that Celtic were serious, and it was something that obviously I'd love to do as well. So we matched up, and here I am.
You haven't played a lot of first-team football, Joe, but how ready are you to kick on from here?
I have played a lot of first-team football, just not recently. But no, I know what you mean. No, that's a totally valid question. I've kind of prided myself on these years recently of not necessarily getting that starting jersey, of being ready, of being putting it down to the manager's decision. Nothing else featuring. Making sure the team felt comfortable that if and when required that I'd be ready. And I feel that, I've been around long enough. I've had plenty of highs, plenty of lows. I've found I've got that middle ground. I'm experienced, I'm mature, and, I'm looking to put that into play.
When were you first aware of Celtic's interest?
I don't know. It's probably about a week ago, to be honest. It wasn't particularly clear at Tottenham that I wasn't going to be required. So we weren't necessarily putting ourselves out there. But they're making their decisions at the moment. They've got their ways of letting people know. And then, conversations were had, and then it particularly heated up towards the end of last week to come into where we are right now.
In terms of Scottish football, have you had the chance to come up here before or come to Scotland before?
I've never seen a game. I played Celtic in a friendly a few years ago. I think it was something to do with George Yost coming from Manchester City. I played a charity game at Celtic Park. But other than that, no. I've got a lot of friends, a lot of people who I hold close that have played here. Obviously, I've closely monitored Fraser's career here whilst we were fighting for that England #1 jersey, and know how hard he pushed for that. Lots of conversations have been had over the last couple of days of people that I know well who've been up here, and they've had nothing but great things to say.
To what extent is this move an opportunity for you to kickstart your career again?
I don't know. I think I'm past looking at things like that. I'm just seeing it as a huge opportunity to play football, which is the one thing that I love, at a place that I feel if you do well, you're going to get a lot of rewards. And those rewards are, that feel-good factor, giving back to people who believe in you. That's what I'm here for. In terms of kickstarting, yes, of course, I want more game time, but I've always felt like I've been ready for that, and I feel confident that I can do that here.
Thank you.
Joe, you mentioned Fraser there. Obviously, he worked with Stevie Woods, a man who got the best out of him. Stevie was also part of the Scotland setup for the Euros as well. I mean, how excited are you to work with a goalkeeping coach like that?
I'm really excited. Just as I'm sure Celtic have done their homework on me, I did my homework as quickly and as best I could. And, Woodsy got glowing reports from all the guys that have worked with him. I spoke to coaches who know him as a coach. And I'll be honest, just from early conversations, I love his drive. I love his passion for the club. and his passion for goalkeeping. We share that, so hopefully it can be a good relationship. Obviously, going to look to work with the other goalkeepers here and all try and get the best out of each other.
I know you say you spoke to Fraser about before you moved here. Anyone else you spoke to with Celtic connections about moving up here?
I spoke to Stan Petrov. He holds this place really close to his heart. I've had a lot of people, a lot of the, what social media is like, Robbie Keane, people like that. I've just talked of what they think of this place. And like I say, it's nothing but positive. It's nothing but excitement. So obviously I want to experience that for myself. I want to have my own experiences to pass on, hopefully, in the future.
You get an aspect of what your training's been like at Tottenham. I mean, if Ange was to throw you in tomorrow, I mean, have you been training up to speed? Are you fully ready to go tomorrow if you got the call?
Yeah, definitely. Tottenham, whilst making it clear that I wasn't a part of their plans to necessarily play for them this year, they didn't kick me out. They didn't make it difficult for me. I made it clear that I want to still be in and around the team, training with world-class players, trying to push my levels, and that was never an issue. So I appreciate that from their side, and like I say, I feel fit, I feel ready, I feel up to speed.
How much are you relishing that opportunity to fight for that number one spot? And obviously, is it in terms of a goalkeeping unit, pushing each other on to make each other better?
It's what I love to do. I break it down, especially over recent years. I break it down to real simple things of, I love going in goal. I love playing in goal. Be it in the back garden, messing around, or if it's out on the biggest stage. So I love being part of a goalkeeper unit. Honesty and trust is really important, and being able to back each other in situations that are tough. It's a difficult position, and you need to feel united when it comes to being a goalkeeper, and offer the same support that you'd want if you were playing.
What about in terms of first impressions? I know you've only been there less than a day, but in terms of the squad and the guys you have met, what are your first impressions?
Guys have been great, very accommodating. It's difficult, I literally walked into dinner last night. It's it's strange circumstances with the two to a table and things like that, obviously with the COVID regulations. So we've got as close as we could, but at the end of the day, it's nothing new. Players come in, players come out. Seems like they've got a very good, a good heart to this team, and people who want to make people feel welcome. And that's appreciated, and I want to give that back with the same energy.
Joe, the manager was obviously saying that you've been signed as well as for your goalkeeping ability, as your experience and your personality. What can you do to maybe inject some belief into a defence as well as a goalkeeping unit that's maybe lacked confidence for the past year with everything that's gone on at the club?
Look, that's all to be seen. There's no formula I can bring in. I'm just going to come in with the same energy, the same standards that I set for myself. Put my body on the line for the team, put my body on the line for the unit, listen to Woodsy, listen to the other boys. Hopefully, we've got stories to share. There's been a lot of success at this club. I've had a lot of success in clubs that I've been at. We put all that together, and hopefully we can come up with the right outcome.
Yeah, and is the manager made it clear what he wants from you in terms of the playing style, kind of maybe playing out from the back and things? If you had that conversation. Yeah,
of course. There's no point in not having those conversations. The manager is very clear in what he wants. What he believes I can do. There's certainly there's a formula, there's a system to it, something that you've got to buy into, and I'm more than willing to do that.
Cheers.
Joe, it looks like you've joined at the right time with full houses potentially returning. How much are you looking forward to playing in front of a packed house at Celtic Park?
It's something that we've all missed. I referenced it yesterday speaking to the guys here. It's something we've all missed. Football's a huge part of a lot of people's lives. It's a huge part of my life playing it, and we're one at the end of the day when it comes to the fans and the players. We turn up to that stadium to try and help the team win, and it's really exciting. You never know; lots of things can change. So it's something that I'm not going to pin my hopes on, but it would be amazing to in the near future be playing in front of a lot very excited, very pumped Celtic fans.
I take it you've sort of watched videos of obviously what Celtic Park's like on a European night.
I don't think videos are going to do them justice. I've spoken to people. It's on a European night, especially of a night game. It's been told to me many times that it's the best atmosphere, and that's from that I've played with players that have played against Celtic. They've got no affiliation with the club whatsoever. They've just literally played against them in Europe, and they've just said how special it is. So, like I said, I'd love to experience that myself, but we're a little bit away from experiencing that with the restrictions and stuff like that. But that's certainly something we can all hopefully look forward to.